more in the present through the art, the act, the intention of gratitude. So the way that I like to think about gratitude is that the word grateful means great is to be like thanking, and full is obviously full. So we're literally full of thanks. And I see it as this wholesome, like this expanding, this full to the brim of gratitude, of love, of appreciation of life and everything that is encompassed in that life of ours. So welcome to my garage. We're here to flow. Today's practice is slow moving, fairly low to the ground, and it's just going to be about finding what feels really good, cue my teacher Adrian, and really honouring what feels good for you today. So we're going to get started with a little settling in. So find a comfortable seat that feels really good for you. I personally am just going to sit with my legs crossed. Feel free to sit up on a blanket or a block or whatever you've got at home. Even lay down if sitting's not comfy. So right away, begin to rock a little forward, back, side to side, and feel that alignment, that optimal stacking that happens without you really having to try, of your pelvis right under your heart right under the under your head. So there's this long line where you experience effortlessness to stay here. Excuse me. So right away, begin to deepen your breath, whatever that means to you today. And if you're comfortable, soften your gaze or close your eyes to really give your all to the breath right now. Full breaths in and even longer breaths out. Nothing super fancy, just feeling the ribcage expand out left to right, front to back, bottom to top. Fill your lungs with air, your body with air. Good, and then bring your hands together in front of you and start to rub the palms together. Really create some heat, create some friction, and feel the warmth literally in between the palms of your hands. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Place your hands right at your heart center and notice what you feel. Notice the tingling, the warmth, all of the sensations, any that pop up, notice them. And as you sit here bathing, basking in the sensation, settle your mind on 3 things that you're grateful for. Could be just today. Could be thinking bigger. 3 things. And if you wish to set an intention for your practice, now's a wonderful time to do so. It might be as simple as I am grateful, I give thanks. Or maybe your focus today is about how you'd like to move with ease, with suppleness, with love. Radio Take one more breath in. Let it go. Let your hands come down right on top of the thighs, back your eyelashes open. And we're going to get started with some movement here. So fingertips go out left to right. We're just working on syncing the breath to your movement, the movement to your breath. So on your inhale, slide the fingertips out and then up. A little suspension on the exhale, float the fingertips back down. Nothing fancy, just opening the arms up and letting them fall and float down. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. Let your right hand come to the floor and reach your left arm for up and over. Get a nice big side stretch. Begin to move, begin to explore what feels really yummy. Gratitude. So much love for the sides of our bodies. I don't think they get enough love unless we really put our mind to it. So really expand out the ribs on your left hand side. Spiral your heart up. One more breath here. And out. Use the inhale to take off. Suspend, land lightly on the other side. Up and over with the other arm. Begin to ground down your right sit bone towards the floor. And really think about spiraling your palm to face down to get this nice, beautiful opening on the side. Take one more breath here. And out. Come back up. We find a little twist. So take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Swim the right fingers around. Come up onto the fingertips, so instead of rolling back, you're lifting up as if you're growing even taller. Breathe in, and from your navel upwards, begin to rotate, twist around. So we notice that my gaze is in line with my sternum or my heart. And so we're really isolating from the navel up first, getting the spine giving it a nice juicy rinse. So take one more breath here. And exhale to melt, soften other side. So right hand to the outside of the left thigh, swim the left fingertips around, lift up tall with a breath in. Exhale from your navel up, journey into your twist. Ooh, you might even get a burp like me. Twist is so good for massaging the digestive organs, deep in the belly. So roll with any burps, any gurgles. Alright, here we go. On your exhale, slide out, walk the fingertips in front, and begin to walk the hands out. Nice stretch for the outer hips. So you can sway a little side to side. You can walk the fingertips one way, maybe the other. Just giving you lots of options so you can really find what is the sweet spot, the sukha, the ease, the sweetness. Alright, wherever you have landed, take one more big breath in and soften out. Walk the fingertips back up, take them behind you so you can switch the legs around. Alright, so same little dance on the other side. Breathe in, fingertips go out left to right. Really reach beyond your fingertips. Exhale, float the fingertips down. Give them a little wiggle maybe. Inhale, as if you've got laser beams going out past your fingers. You can imagine like your favorite colour, creating a bubble, a dome. One more, breathe in. Expand. Exhale, settle in. Alright, this time the left hand to the floor, reach your right arm up and over, palm facing down. We've got 2 breaths here, so really press your left hand down and then away into the ground to find this curving effect, this forceful energy. One more breath. Inhale to lift off and land the other side. The left palm facing down. Keep your neck nice and long, and then press your right hand down and then away. So you'll notice that I create this extra curve on the right side of my body. Good. One more breath here. Soften out. Inhale, come up. Easy twist. So left fingertips behind, right hand on the outside of the left thigh. This time we integrate the cervical spine of the neck. So inhale, lift up tall. Exhale from the belly up, twist any amount. And then from here, stay here and begin to turn your gaze, peering towards the shoulder at the back. Still using an inhale to find length, and then exhale to journey in. One more breath. Exhale to release and switch it over. So left hand to the outside of the right thigh, swimming the right fingertips around, lift up tall, breathe in, and exhale, take the journey. Use your next exhale to take your gaze over and past the back shoulder, or maybe towards, doesn't have to go past. Stay for one more breath here. Exhale to unwind. Very good. Fingertips come forward, walk it out. Now walk it out. Okay, sorry. So find a little swaying or walking the hands one way, the other, forearms, whatever feels good for you. I don't know what that was, but hey. Take another juicy breath in, full, and let it go. Very good. Walk the fingertips back up. And from here we're going to swing the legs around and come onto all fours. So really get the spine moving, flowing, energy going out into all directions. So stack your shoulders right over the wrists. Spread your fingertips wide. Knees are right under the hip points. And your spine is neutral. So your gaze is a little bit more forward. So you've got length in the back of your neck. On your inhale, lower your belly towards the floor. Roll your heart forward. And use the exhale to tuck under as if you're pulling your tailbone even further down, arching your back, bringing your chin towards your chest. So inhale to scoop the belly down and forward, heart forward. Exhale to round everything under. Navel up, crown of the head down. Two more. Inhale, shine your heart forward, open the front gates, sit bones wide. Exhale to round through. Make this one feel soul nourishing. So feel free to get a little weird, a little funky on the movements, maybe a little hip swaying as you scoop forward. And then maybe rolling back. Good. Find somewhere in the middle, a neutral spine. Go ahead and walk your hands forward a little. Tuck the toes under. Send your pelvis back and begin to lift one knee up, then the other, and begin to walk the feet out. Pedal them here. Downward loving dog. So just taking a moment to really maybe bump the hips one way as you lower the heel in the same direction. Find stillness here. Feel free to bend the knees so you can shine your sit bones up towards the sky. Bend your knees a little more and then take a slow walk up to the top of your mat. Hang here for 2 breaths. So maybe grab the opposite elbow, tag a little weight down and just rock a little side to side. One more breath.
Use the exhale to release the arms, bend the knees even more and slowly roll up.
So I'm going to turn to face you so you can see me. Just like we did on the floor, we're going to do this standing up. So feet are about hip distance apart or flush together, your choice. And set your pelvis right over the center arches of your feet. So you can rock a little front and back, feel where that is. Your heart over your pelvis. And your head nice and stacked on top. On your next breath in with soft knees, reach the fingertips down, out to come up. And exhale to float the fingertips down. Good. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale. Lower the hands down, lower the arms. 2 more, so buoyant breath in. Let it go, soften. Last one. As if you're drawing a bigger love heart. Kissing, and then lowering down. Good. One more here. Inhale, reach the arms up. This time as you exhale, take a little swan dive forward. So the arms go out, the heart shines forward, hinging at the hips. Find a forward fold here with soft knees. And on your next inhale, slide your hands up the legs to, found a bit of cardboard, to the tops of your thighs. From here, press into the feet, reach your sit bones wide and back. As you do that, draw your navel in towards your spine and then up towards your heart. And then glide your shoulders back. So you've got this long neutral spine, like a number 7 shape. Good, enjoy one more breath here. Soften and bow. Plant the hands and go ahead and step your left leg all the way back, lowering the back knee. So your front knee is somewhere around on top of the front ankle. It's not a really big deal if it's slightly forward or back, but we just want to avoid going too far forward or too far back. So if you have like books here, you're more than welcome to come up onto them, or blocks. Otherwise, I like to come up onto the fingertips. So just take a moment to rock forward and back. We're really starting to open up through the front of the left hip crease. Good. So create your left hand as your anchor point. Free up your right hand. On your breath in, circle the right arm forward, up, back and around to where you started. Exhale on the way down. So inhale to lift. Exhale to come back full circle. One more in this direction, maybe a slight lift of the hips. And then we reverse. So inhale back and up. Exhale around. You'll notice maybe your hips slowly helping out by ever so slightly straightening the front leg. Good. One more circle. Lower the left hand and begin to straighten the front leg a little more. Pull the right hip crease back. And then imagine that you're pressing your right heel into the ground as you flex your right toes. And as you press down, it's like you're pulling the thigh bone, the femur, back and in. So it's going like back and then in towards the midline. Now with a nice bent front leg, front knee, feels really good to get the belly of the hamstring. On your next breath in, find a long spine, look forward. Exhale, wave your spine down, chin towards your chest. 2 more. Inhale, lift up, long, long spine. Exhale, melt down. 1 more. Wave your spine, roll it, uncurl it. Exhale to lower, chin to chest. On your next inhale, roll forward through the front foot. Plant the hands. And then keep your weight in your left hand like you had it before. Pull both of your legs together to create support in the hips and the pelvis. And then open up the right wing with a big breath in. Keep thinking about your lower ribs, the left ones, coming forward and then up, like your heart is trying to shine forward towards your knee. And then up even more. One more breath. Lower. Press into both hands. Step the right leg back, both knees on the floor. Shift forward like a low plank. Look towards the top edge of your mat. Breathe in, shift forward even more, and then lower down, bending the elbows. Press into the tops of your feet, hug the elbows in, and on an inhale, loop your shoulders onto your back, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower. 2 more. Looping back with the shoulders to lift you up. Lower. Last one. Good. Come up to all fours, hands and knees. Tuck the toes, send your pelvis back, lift. Lift it up, straighten the legs, downward dog. Take one breath here. And out. Good. Lift your left leg up behind you just a little. Begin to bend your left knee, bring it in towards your chest. And then step the foot in between the hands, lowering your back knee. Same thing here, so front knee somewhere over the front ankle. Back toes can be tucked under or not, whatever's easiest for you, whatever feels better, more stable. Let your right hand become your anchor, whether it's on the fingertips or the palm, or in a block or a book. Release your left fingers from the ground and use an inhale to swim the left arm forward, up, back, and around. Keep it going. Notice what naturally wants to move with you with the arm. Maybe the hips, the legs. Good. Reverse your circle. Maybe exploring a little straightening of the front leg a little more each time. Last one. Plant the left hand down. Begin to pull the hip crease back, straightening the front leg. Keep a soft bend in the left knee. Flex the toes. And just like we did before, imagine pressing your left heel down into the ground. So it's like an internal action, and then pulling the left hip back and in. On your next breath in, lengthen your spine long. Exhale, wave down, curl inwards. Inhale to unravel. Exhale, dive deep. Last one. Begin to roll forward. Plant your right hand this time, and then use an inhale to start by activating, find support through the hips, so hug both legs together, and use an inhale to open up the left wing. Reach through the crown of your head to that point that the energy flies out of. Imagine a long line. Good, and then imagine your right ribs, the ones at the bottom, spiraling up even more. One more breath. Lower down. And step your left leg back, coming back to all fours. Shift forward and then bend your elbows lower down. Press into the tops of your feet, feel your kneecaps lift. And then take your fingertips off the side of your mat. Come up onto the fingertips so that the palms lift up, the wrists lift up, and your elbows are up high. Maybe somewhere over the front wrist, but you can take a little wider. like spider arms. Okay, forehead down. Same thing, but this time on an inhale, loop your shoulders, glide them back, press into the fingertips, lift up. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Shoulders glide down, heart lifts forward and up. Lower. Last one. Good, release the hands. Press up to all fours. Take the knees wide. Big toes to touch. And begin to walk the hands down and out. Child's pose. Enjoy a few nice full breaths in and out. Really filling up the back of your lungs with your breath. And see if you can extend your exhale a little longer than your inhale. Press into your hands, lift your forehead up and come back to all fours. Tuck your toes under, peel your pelvis up, straighten the legs. On your next breath in, we'll start with the left leg going up behind you. And then bend your knee, shift forward, step your left foot in between the hands. And go again, pivot on the back foot so that it's lining up with the long edge of your mat, or the short edge of your mat. Toes are facing towards the right side of the room. Now before we even lift up into Warrior Two, press into both feet, hike the legs together, and press down the pinky edge of your right foot, the back one. Front knees over front ankle. With that, press into the front heel a little more, get light and cartwheel the hands up. Once you're lifted, you can adjust your stance. You can teeter-totter the arms, the upper body forward and back. So you find this stacking once more of pelvis, heart, head. Palms face down to start. Alright, on your next inhale, flip the palms up, straighten the front leg, reach the hands together. Exhale, sink back down, palms face the earth. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms up, maybe gaze joins it. Exhale, settle in. One more, flip the palms. Good, now just flip the front palm. Reach the front arm forward, up and back, peaceful warrior. And then straighten the front leg. Get a nice opening through the whole left side body. Plug your left shoulder down to the hip, or the left upper arm bone into the shoulder socket. Deep breath in. As you exhale, soften through the front knee. Cartwheel the arm forward just enough to take your left forearm to the left thigh. Palm faces up. And the top arm reaches overhead, side angle. So you can imagine that you're holding, I don't know, like a big thing of rose quartz, or maybe it's someone dear in your hand, or just the colour pink. This gentle holding. So here we go, we're going to floss between these two shapes. So on an inhale, straighten the front leg, reach back. Exhale, soften to the front knee, right arm up overhead. Windmill back, straighten the front leg. And exhale, soften the front knee, left forearm down, right arm over. Do one more. Take it back. And then soften forward. Lift back up. Just to warrior two with the legs straight. Take your arms down at your sides and turn the left toes in, just a little, and the right toes join. So it's like the feet are parallel, but then ever so slightly turn the feet inwards. What that does is it facilitates a little internal rotation. This is obviously over-exaggeration of the thigh bones, but it's very slight. So what it does is it widens the sit bones at the back, widens the pelvis, so it creates a little bit more space. So take a soft bend in the knees, take your hands behind your lower back, loop the shoulders together, so walk your shoulders onto your back even more, and draw the knuckles down towards your pelvis, and then down towards the floor. All while you keep your belly engaged, draw the knuckles away, breathe in, lift your heart up. Exhale with soft knees, send your pelvis back, your heart forward. Pause anywhere that feels good. When you feel like you can, and feel free to bend the knees even more. Release the crown of your head down to the floor and lift the arms up any amount that feels good. If it doesn't feel great to have the arms up overhead, just release them down to the floor with care. If you've got the fingertips interlaced, go ahead and let your arms come down towards your back. Release the grip. Release your hands down to the floor. Good, then lift up halfway, so walk the fingertips forward. And then walk the fingers over to the back edge of your mat, or the right foot. Turn the right toes out slightly. And then also, the left toes can stay without. You adjust as you need to. So inhale, find length. Exhale, bend into your left leg, reach away. So it's almost like down dog arms. Good, inhale to straighten. Exhale to sink in. Inhale once more. Exhale, bend the left leg. Inhale, come up, walk the fingers back to the center. Walk the fingers back under your shoulders, hands to your hips, bend your knees and roll your pelvis up. Just take a moment to either soften your gaze or close your eyes. And just notice how you feel. And you release the hands forward. Notice the flash of energy. The swirling, the dancing of it inside of you. Now when you're ready, turn your right toes all the way out to face the back of your mat. And left toes might stay where they are, or you can adjust them to be more comfortable for your pelvis. And then bend the front knee over the front ankle. Pelvis, heart, head alignment, so teeter-totter yourself as you need to. And then reach the arms out left to right. Good, palms face down, shoulders glide back. Navel draws in. On an inhale, flip the palms, straighten the front leg, reach the fingertips up towards each other. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, ground down. One more. Flip the palms, rise. And with so much love, return. Now flip the front palm, reach your right arm forward, up and back. Peaceful warrior. And straighten the front leg. And feel this nice opening as if you're really plugging the right
upper arm bone this time into the socket. It's letting gravity take hold of that there. Good. Take another breath in here. On the exhale, bend your right knee, the front knee. Take your right forearm to the right thigh, rest it there so it's not collapsing in, it's just lightly resting. Palm faces up. And then swim the left arm up and over, maybe just up to the sky, maybe all the way over. Turn the palm down. And then press the pinky edge of your back foot into the floor. I mean, there's so much to think about, right? All while trying to be grateful. Okay, just take another breath here. And then we dance. So press into the front heel, lift off, straighten the front leg, glide the arms back. Exhale, back you go. Right forearm to the thigh, left arm up. 2 more times. So begin to really flow with your breath. And notice the power of your breath, your prana. Now straighten the front leg, reach the fingertips out, then down, and then turn the right toes in. You might need to adjust your stance. And remember, both feet, turn the big toes in slightly, soft knees. So if having the hands behind the back wasn't a good option for you, which is where we'll be going, feel free to just have the hands on the hips, doing the same thing. So interlace the fingers behind your back, maybe opposite thumb on top, opposite grip. What? It's so strange. Alright, so zip up the belly. As you inhale, glide the knuckles down and back, lift your heart up. Exhale, heart forward, pelvis back. Let the crown of your head release down and the fingertips to lift up and away any amount. See if you can allow your whole body to cascade downwards like a waterfall of energy. Release the hands down to the floor once more with care. Walk the fingers forward and then over to the left this time. So turn the left toes out a little. Maybe the right toes out as well, depending on what feels good in your hips. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bend your right knee and reach the arms away. So you can sort of adjust the fingers, the placement of your arms to feel good. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend it. One more. Good. Come back up. Walk the fingertips back together, or right under the shoulders, I should say. And begin to heel toe your feet together, right up together, flush together. Now my favourite little balancing way to get down onto the floor, lift up onto your tippy toes, the knees can be bent. And then send your heels forward over the balls of your feet. Curl down, so sit down into a little ball. So your belly's right near your chest. You can stay here or maybe lift up onto the fingertips, giving yourself a little balance, like you're perching on a branch, like a bird. So you're not collapsing into the feet, but you're pressing away, you're lifting up. Take another breath in here. And then as you breathe out, swivel around maybe, and come to sit. All right, scoot yourself forward. Let the soles of your feet come together. Actually, I'll just scooch back so I can make sure that you see this. Soles of the feet come together, open the hips out, and slide your heels away, your feet away from your pelvis, a little more than you normally would. Get a nice big diamond in the thighs. If you feel like your pelvis is rounding back here and your lower back is sort of not able to shift forward more, sit up on a blanket or a couple of pillows. It feels really good. Alright, so with that in mind, send your pelvis forward but back at the same time, like you're pouring out a bucket of water. heart forward, and begin to walk the hands down. You can give yourself a little foot massage here. In fact, yeah, let's do that. I hope you're all people who are okay with your feet, because if there's anything I've learned, it's that there's two types of people in this world, in the yoga world, is that there's people who are totally cool with playing with their feet and giving themselves a massage and touching feet. And then there are people who do not like it. So each to their own, but I mean it feels pretty amazing, so I suggest you give it a go. Notice if there's any tight spots. Fun fact, you can look up a reflexology chart and notice where the tight spot was and see what organ it relates to. Okay, I'm going to be quiet now. So massage as long as you like, and when you're ready, find stillness here, rounding your spine, chin to chest, and let your heart round forward as you open up the back body. Feel the back of your heart crack wide open. A metaphor for being able to see gratitude in all areas, all aspects, all shades of light. Not only from the front of the heart, but the back and the sides. Slowly roll yourself up with the support of your hands. Take your hands to the outsides of your thighs. Shift forward and lower down onto your back. Good. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh and let the knee come out to the side. Here we target the outer hip. So this might be more than enough, especially if you have tight hips. Or tight glutes, I should say. Or if you have if it's available, hug the knees in and maybe take the hands around the back of the left thigh. If you don't quite reach, you can use a towel or a scarf or a jersey or something. And you're welcome to rock a little side to side if that feels yummy, or extend your left leg up. Wherever you land, use each exhale as an opportunity to let go. To soften and release. Slowly let your left foot touch back down, uncross the legs, and we switch it over. So your left ankle crosses over the right thigh, and maybe you stay here, or maybe you're able to hug the knees in, interlacing your fingers around your right thigh. As you dive into your breath, notice the area where you feel the sensation the most. Notice what it feels like, where the area starts and stops, or if it's maybe a little fuzzy and blurry. And can you breathe into it for 2 more breaths?
tuck your left leg in to your chest, straighten the right leg out. Take your left leg with your right hand, left arm out, and then guide the leg across for a nice twist. And maybe take your gaze in the opposite direction or close your eyes as you lower the left ear towards the floor. Come back to center and switch it over. So right knee in, left out long. Right arm out, and use your left hand to guide your right leg across the body. Are you able to let go even 5% more? Come back to your center. And let the palms go out, face up. Straighten one leg out and then the other, and take your feet a little wider. Press into the back of your head to snuggle your shoulders under the back of your heart space and melt down. Now's the time to let all of your practice be as it is. And it's a chance for you to truly yield and surrender to whatever the moment brings, whatever it brings up for you. Be there for it all. Watch it all. Feel free to pause and stay. Otherwise, begin to notice the outline of your body and all of the parts of you that come in contact with the mat. with the earth beneath you. And start to enliven your breath. Imagine you're lighting up your body from the inside out, shining brightly. And then start to wake up your body. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, circle your wrists, your ankles. And then reach your arms up overhead. Take a nice big stretch. Bring your feet to the floor. And then roll onto one side, any side. Pause for a breath. Press into your top hand and come back up to a comfortable seat to finish. So just like we started, take your hands out in front of you and begin to rub the hands together. Feel the heat, the warmth, the friction, the life between your hands. Here for 3, 2 a little faster, and 1, place them right over your heart. And once again, notice what it feels like. As you sit here, think of 3 people that you're grateful for. Visualize them. Feel them. Maybe even send them a little love note through the astral plane. And I'll leave you with one of my favourite poems. When your world moves too fast and you lose yourself in the chaos, introduce yourself to each colour of the sunset. Reacquaint yourself with the earth beneath your feet. Thank the air that surrounds you with every breath that you take. Find yourself in the appreciation of life. From this space in my heart to the bottom of it to your heart right there, I thank you for joining me today and each other. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.